Diddy has just been placed on suicide watch after doing everything in his power to escape jail. He was arrested last week in New York and sent to one of the worst jails. People are calling the place a hellhole. He tried to offer the judge $50 million to get out but was rejected, and now is looking for other ways to get away. They think he's a danger to witnesses and have caught him trying to contact some of them. Take a look. Diddy's arrest and bail denied. New text messages have revealed that Diddy has been trying to contact some of the victims, one of them being Cassie Ventura. It was revealed in court that Diddy had sent text messages to Cassie following the hotel attack, and the prosecution used this against him in court. He attended 2 trials to decide if he'd be allowed bail or not, and the judge rejected both of them. His lawyer argued he wasn't a threat to the public, but the judge did not agree. The prosecution was determined to make sure Diddy stayed behind bars until his trial, and to do that, they had an ace up their sleeve. In court, one of the prosecutors read out some text between Diddy and his victims out loud for all to hear. One of the texts, the one he sent to Cassie, read, "Call me. The cops are here. You, please call. I'm surrounded. You're gonna abandon me all alone." The prosecutor reading the text was called Emily Johnson, and she had even more exchanges between Diddy and alleged victims to share. Another woman who accused Diddy of dragging her by her hair down a hallway allegedly texted Diddy saying, "You always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child." Back in November 2023, Cassie filed a lawsuit that shocked the world and detailed Diddy's alleged abuse against her and Johnson. The prosecutor said that this sparked other victims to text Diddy. One of them allegedly wrote, "I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma, and it makes me sick how 3 solid pages word for word is exactly my experiences and my anguish." Although Diddy pleaded not guilty, and his lawyer said his client was an innocent man with nothing to hide, the judge and pretty much everyone else weren't buying it, and for now he's not going anywhere. On September 22nd, footage was released from the hotel that Diddy was staying at on the day of his arrest, showing him being taken into custody. It looks far from the exquisite high-end places you'd expect from one of the music industry's biggest moguls. The hotel's name is the Park Hyatt, and it's located in the heart of Manhattan, not far from where he's staying now, in jail. At least he didn't have to travel too far. In the footage, you see Diddy walking into the hotel with a group of men where 2 officers in white are waiting for him. The federal agents calmly make their approach as he enters. One of them has the paperwork and the other has the cuffs. Diddy goes without a fight, and although his team may have looked surprised, he didn't. I think it's safe to say he knew this was coming. As you may know, his house was raided early in the year, but we never found out what was inside until now. Diddy's got many cribs, but his one in Miami was allegedly filled with lube and other incriminating items. According to the indictment they used to take him into custody, his home in Miami as well as LA had 1,000 bottles of lube as well as some unregistered AR-15s. The document also says they found narcotics as well as other freak-off supplies. If you don't know what a freak-off is by this point, then, well, let's just say they're wild gatherings that are said to include a lot of sex. Diddy was said to be the mastermind behind these gatherings, and these freaky parties were filled with drugs, sex, and famous people. Diddy allegedly filled hotel rooms up with lube, drugs, extra lighting, and fresh linens. If you're wondering why they needed extra lighting, it's because they were all allegedly filmed. And although we haven't seen the footage yet, it's likely we will as the case progresses. The indictment claims that his staff were also tasked with cleaning the rooms after the damage was done, as well as arranging travel for the victims and ordering IV fluids, which might be to flush out all the drugs they were consuming. During these freak-offs, Diddy allegedly threatened, abused, and assaulted the victims. In the indictment, it says Combs maintained control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, so you can see why they refused his bail. Although he came quietly, Diddy and his legal team didn't go down without a fight and did everything in their power to convince the judge to let him go. They proposed a massive bond of $50 million, but even that didn't work. After the hearing, his lawyer said, "It did not go our way," and then, wherever he is, his resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. At least there's one person in the world that believes that. His lawyer also mentioned how inhumane the conditions are where they've got him, and honestly, it sounds like the gulag, so it's no wonder they think he might try almost anything to escape. Diddy placed on suicide watch in prison. A few days after his 2 attempts at getting bail were denied, we found out they placed him on suicide watch. When you hear about the conditions of the place he's in, you won't be too surprised, especially since other sex traffickers have mysteriously killed themselves inside. The place he's held in is called the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, and although it might not look so bad on the outside, the inside has been described as a living hell. Since he's been locked up there, a spokesperson has come out and said Mr. Combs is strong, healthy, and focused on his defense. That might be the case for now, but with the rumors of this this place's terrible conditions, who knows how long that will last. They say suicide watch for high-profile inmates is part of the procedure, and this detention center has had some of the biggest names inside, including probably the most notorious sex traffickers in America. The facility is currently the only federal jail in New York City. There used to be another one called the Metropolitan Correction Center in Manhattan, which is right next door to the court where Diddy's bail was denied. However, that was closed down after Jeffrey Epstein was able to kill himself inside it. It's said to have had lax security, which is why he was able to do it, but everyone inside has now been relocated to Diddy's new home, the Brooklyn Metropolitan Correction Center, which, from what we've heard, doesn't sound any better. The Bureau of Prisons opened the place in the 1990s, and it's mainly used for people serving short sentences or awaiting trial. There's about 1,200 inmates inside, and the place is said to be a hellhole. For now, Diddy is locked away by himself and will not have to face any other inmates, but it's said the prison is full of violence, dreadful conditions, as well as staffing shortages. To be honest, you can't expect many people to want to work there. Apparently in 2019, the place had a power cut, and prisoners were forced to remain for days without any heating facilities in the middle of winter. With winter now approaching again, it's no wonder Diddy's so desperate to get out. Cold isn't the only problem though. It's allegedly rat-infested with filth and squalor everywhere, and multiple prisoners have died in recent years. This year alone, 2 inmates have died due to a stabbing and a brawl, and 3 others have killed themselves. It's also said that it's rife with corruption, and 6 staff members have been charged with crimes in the last 6 years, including accepting bribes and smuggling contraband. Diddy's in luck. He may be able to still get his fix. From the amount of narcotics he allegedly was taking, he must seriously have the shakes. This jail has housed many celebrity names. We mentioned Jeffrey Epstein being housed nearby, but his notorious accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell actually stayed inside the MDC. She also complained about the terrible conditions while she was there. Other big names who were sent there include R. Kelly, another convicted sex offender, the rapper Fetty Wap, and Sam Bankman-Fried, the disgraced cryptocurrency fraudster. Other notable names include Farmer Bro Martin Shkreli and sex cult founder Keith Raniere. So rappers and sex offenders seem to be common there, but it's even held high-ranking government officials. Former Mexican government official Genaro Garcia Luna was sent there, as well as Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernando Alvarado. With Epstein being able to kill himself so easily nearby, and the sheer amount of inmates dying inside, you can see why they put Diddy on suicide watch. His lawyers also mentioned this and said it's not fit for pre-trial detention. As heinous as the crimes Diddy allegedly committed is, as of now he hasn't been proven guilty, so to be detained somewhere that bad is pretty crazy. But since there's nowhere else in New York anyway, he'll just have to make do with it. When questioned on the conditions, a Manhattan-based U.S. attorney said, "We are concerned with anyone's safety whenever they are detained prior to trial, and I do not draw any sort of connection between Jeffrey Epstein's suicide and what may or may not happen to any other defendant while they are detained pre-trial." From the stories, it doesn't sound like they're too concerned with anyone's safety, so we'll have to see if Diddy even makes it to trial. If he does, he's got some serious explaining to do, since so many people are coming out claiming he did some really freaky stuff. Just recently, a guy who claimed to be his sex slave has come forward and told his story. Diddy's sex slaves. Wow. Diddy's inside jail on suicide watch. A video has resurfaced online that shows a guy claiming to be his sex slave speaking about the experience. He not only claimed that Diddy is gay, but also said that Rick Ross and DJ Khaled are too.
They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross,
Yeah.
and pdiddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Obviously, the inspector wanted to know how he knew all of that, and he said it's because Diddy's part of the Illuminati.
How do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself
Yeah.
these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule
Boule.
is a branch of the Illuminati.
He goes on to say some even wilder things, like he had sex with Diddy and Cassie.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters.
Okay, so you're probably wondering who the hell this guy is. Well, his name is Jonathan Oddie, and he was arrested and jailed in 2018 for shooting up a Trump hotel named the National Doral Golf Club, and after his arrest said some pretty crazy stuff about Trump, Obama, and Diddy. Although we can't trust his word completely, that interview we just showed you where he claims that Diddy is part of the Illuminati, that Diddy, Ross, and Khaled are gay, and that he had sex with Diddy and Cassie was from 2018, many years before Cassie's allegations were made public. If he was making that up, it sure was a lucky guess, since the crimes she's accusing Diddy of sound awfully familiar. Oddie, the self-described sex slave, was a gay porn star who made some other wild claims that he moved drugs like cocaine for a cabal of rich people. He even claimed he caught herpes from the sex he had with them, and personally witnessed Diddy using cocaine during the sexcapades. As you can imagine, the cops at the time completely disregarded his as a complete nut job, but now you've got to think, was he really making it all up? In Cassie's own lawsuit, she describes being forced to have sex sex with male prostitutes, so we'll let you ponder what that means. Adi now is being detained in Miami and has charges of attempted murder of law enforcement officers, armed burglary, and armed grand theft, according to court documents. He hasn't yet faced trial for the charges, which is strange since he was arrested 6 years ago. Like Diddy, he's being held without bail. All of his talk about the Illuminati would have been hard to believe back then, but now it's looking like there may be some truth to that crazy conspiracy. Just recently, one guy who has been accused of being part of a satanic cult for longer than most of the 21st century, Jay-Z, has been seen in bed with Diddy. This very suspicious picture from the early 2000s was just leaked on the internet, and it shows Diddy, along with Jay-Z and other famous names, in bed together. Aaliyah and Jennifer Lopez, who we know used to date Diddy, is also said to be in the picture. The picture was taken from a party nearly 2 decades ago, and people online have had a lot to say about it. One user wrote, "It looks like Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein had essentially the same business model, or am I missing something? From what we keep seeing, it's hard to argue with that." Someone else wrote, "Aaliyah doesn't even look happy in the picture, God rest her soul." And another said, "Has anyone ever considered the fact that JLO is traumatized from Diddy, which is why she can't stay married?" It said that the gathering was from Diddy's July 4th party in the year 2000 and was held in East Hampton, New York. Other notable names allegedly attended, including the record executive Damon Dash. If sex slaves coming out with pictures of what look like orgies aren't enough to convince you, then maybe Diddy himself admitting to locking up women during parties will. In 2002, he appeared on Conan O'Doyle, where we hear him say some very incriminating things when talking about his party.
We need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just different
Plurals.
blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta
right.
keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
He goes on to mention other famous names like Naomi Campbell attending his parties that are, in his words, a little kinky. If all this isn't bad enough, R. Kelly, another accused sex offender, has come at in Diddy's defense. He might be the only person, apart from Diddy's lawyer, to do that. Back when Diddy's house was raided, he was asked about this situation and he said, "I don't believe none of this shit. You could tell me about Puffy, you could about anybody, you could tell me on the news, the weather, the sky is blue. I'm not gonna believe the shit because I'm in it now and I know what they did." I'm sure Diddy's grateful for the support, but if that was me, I'd wish he'd have kept his mouth shut. An R. Kelly endorsement is certainly not a good look when you're on trial for sex trafficking. Right now, there looks to be overwhelming evidence about Diddy's crimes from victims, but it was actually the people closest to him that are responsible for his downfall, Diddy's downfall. Although R. Kelly might believe Diddy is innocent, a lot of his closest associates don't. In the last year or so, it was actually the people in Diddy's inner circle that exposed him. From ex-girlfriends to former employees, it was those that he trusted that started the allegations that exposed him and led to his arrest. The most famous of these was from a lawsuit that was filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in November 2023 that started a string of events that encouraged many others to come out and tell the world about their alleged experiences with Diddy and what went on at his parties. Cassie is a famous R&B singer with popular tracks from the early to mid-2000s like Me and You, which she released when she was 19, the same age she met Diddy when he would have been 37. They were together for a decade, and in that time she claims she suffered a lot of abuse by his hand, including violence, sex trafficking, and rape. She says that she tried to leave him in 2018, and in 2023 she filed a lawsuit against him. In a statement, Cassie wrote, "After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships." You might be wondering why she chose them to expose him, and she mentions that it was due to the New York Survivors Act, which let victims of over the age of 18 prosecute the perpetrators. She said, "With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life." In her case, she says that after meeting Diddy in 2005, she signed to his record label Bad Boy Records. After that, he allegedly commanded complete control over her life. She said that in 2007, he pressured her into dating him, and after that, she was constantly physically and emotionally abused and forced to consume large amounts of drugs. She speaks about being forced to participate in freak-offs, where she'd have to have sex with people while heavily under the influence of drugs. She said after a while, she just blindly followed his instructions after fear of getting hurt. She says that she was done with it in 2018, but when she tried to leave him, he broke into her home and raped her. After she brought all this up in court and sued Diddy, he settled the lawsuit after just one day. We don't know how much he paid her, but we can guess it was quite a lot. Unfortunately for Diddy, that wasn't the end of it. Around 7 months later, a video started circulating the internet, which showed him beating her up in a hotel lobby. After that was released, he publicly apologized for it.
I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
But the damage was done. Just before that video came out, another alleged victim, Rodney Jones, who was hired as a producer for Diddy's new album, Love Off the Grid, came out and filed a lawsuit of his own. His one was massive, and the things he claimed not only implicated Diddy, but the whole music industry, while Cassie's lawsuit focused entirely on what Diddy allegedly did to her. Rodney Jones name drop and detailed countless people that he said were involved in the scandal. Some of these include the biggest names in the music industry, as well as high-profile actors and musicians. In the lawsuit, he has redacted a few names, but some think they were Chris Brown, Meek Mill, and Usher, and were accused of having sex with minors and even engaging in homosexual acts with Diddy himself. Although their names were redacted, some weren't. Well-known actor Cuba Gooding Jr. was accused of sexually assaulting Rodney Jones, and allegedly Diddy spent months trying to groom him into having sex with Cuba. Although Cuba denies the allegations, the lawsuit shows a picture of a guy who looks a lot like him with his arms all over Rod. The lawsuit is 100 pages long and details many more crimes and big names. Rodney and Cassie were close to Diddy, but there was someone even closer. Diddy's now deceased ex-wife Kim Porters reportedly wrote a book about their time together, and it said inside she revealed many things. She allegedly says that she had sex with men and women at his command. The book is called Kim's Lost Words and is 60 pages long and is allegedly from a collection of notes that she kept before she died. The book is said to have been leaked by her friends and mentions that she discovered Diddy making tapes of himself having sex with young boys. One of those boys is said to have been an 18-year-old pop star who became a household name. At the end of the book is an alleged diary entry that sees her fall ill and says, "He got me." It's possible the boy she's talking about was Justin Bieber, as his name keeps coming up as details about Diddy's life and alleged crimes are revealed. The music industry in chaos. Since Diddy's arrest, the whole music industry has been plunged into chaos, with many of the world's most famous artists being connected with him in some way. It's well known that Diddy played a huge role in the music industry and also the careers of many up-and-coming artists like Justin Bieber and Usher, who went on to become huge household names. Since Diddy's arrest, it's been revealed that Justin is shaken up by the whole thing and has cut himself off from the world. Fans are concerned as he was taken under Diddy's wing at a very young age, and if the crimes he's accused of is true, Justin probably would have witnessed some crazy stuff. Justin was signed to Usher's record label when he was only 15. Usher was also taken in by Diddy, so the three of them had very close ties. A very weird video came out that showed Justin and Diddy hanging out together. He was only 15 years old. In the video, you hear Diddy say, "I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours he's with me and we're gonna go full crazy." It seemed the two of them hung out regularly after that. But then when Justin Bieber was 17, it seemed their relationship had fallen apart. A video came out where Diddy accused Justin of not wanting to hang out with him anymore. In the video, Diddy says, "You're starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out." In a nervous reply, Justin says, "Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot, but you never really got my number, so want my number?" Justin was also a collaborator on Diddy's most recent album, and a spokesperson for him said, "Bieber is so disturbed by the Diddy news and is unwilling to process it or discuss it, so he is shut off. So many people who helped to make him who he is were very close to Diddy, and it has completely thrown him. Justin hasn't been responding on this since the home raids. He's not going to." In a video that was leaked in 2021, you see Diddy meeting up with Justin and doing a weird greeting that looks like he was checking him for wires. Maybe even back then, Diddy knew people were after him. Justin Bieber is a very famous name, but he's not the only one with ties to Diddy. The Kardashians also are said to have attended Diddy parties, and they even claim they saw Justin Bieber there. Here you see footage of them speaking about it.
"So who was with you this weekend?" "A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber."
They then go on to say that most of the people there were butt naked.
"Oh, this party? I think half the people there were butt naked."
With the sheer amount of high-profile people who are said to have gone to these events, we're sure more about what gets on will be revealed as the case proceeds. But for now, musicians and record label execs are freaking out. As we said before, Universal Group CEO Lucian Grange was implicated in the Rodney Jones lawsuit. If you somehow haven't heard of him or Universal Music, then this guy is arguably the biggest record label executive ever. In fact, he was named by Billboard to be the executive of the decade after winning their most powerful person in the music industry award multiple years in a row. Many of the world's top musicians are signed to his record label, including Drake, Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, and Justin Bieber. Rodney Jones' lawsuit says that Grange frequently visited Diddy's home, usually late at night, and spent hours in his bedroom. It also mentioned that Grange was involved in organizing parties like one for Diddy's album release that had underage sex workers and where attendees were drugged. Another huge name in music is Ethiopia Habtemariam, the CEO of Motown Records. She's named in the lawsuit too as being involved in similar crimes. She is said to have been present at the listening party, and would have known what was going on. Diddy had connections with pretty much everyone in the music industry, and as we know, most of them also went to his parties. You can see why Justin Bieber is distancing himself from the scandal and why others might be scared. Even execs who aren't directly implicated in the scandal are seemingly taking action. A few days after Diddy's arrest, we found out that the hip-hop industry veteran Kevin Liles was stepping down from his role as executive vice director of Warner Music Group. He was with Warner for a very long time and was also a close associate of Diddy. Diddy's Bad Boy Records used to come under the Warner Music umbrella, and Kevin Liles was a close friend of his. They weren't just friends. Liles was one of the very few people who outright spoke out in Diddy's defense and has publicly supported him. He hasn't yet said if his leaving Warner is directly tied to Diddy, but considering the timing, we could hazard a guess that it is very likely. As we've seen, everyone with a name seems to be connected with Diddy in some way or other, so it makes sense that they're scared right about now. From what we've heard of Diddy's parties, we know they were wild and allegedly had some very illegal and embarrassing things going on in them. Usher, who was a kid when he met Diddy, is said to have attended his parties when he was only 14 years of age. When asked about his experiences, he said, "I got a chance to see some things. I don't know if I could indulge and even understand what I was looking at. I think we can all guess what that was." Right now, Diddy sits in one of New York's worst jails, and his lawyers are doing everything to get him out. The world wants to know what really happened at those parties and what celebrities were involved. So all we can do is hope he doesn't get Epstein.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
And off the top at 5:30, we continue to follow breaking news out of Star Island. Several law enforcement agencies are raiding the home of hip-hop mogul P. Diddy.
And tonight, we are learning it may be tied to alarming allegations.
After a long wait, Diddy, the famous rapper and entrepreneur, has finally faced sentencing following a dramatic raid on his home. The incident had captured headlines, leaving fans and onlookers curious about the outcome. Now the verdict is in, and it's time to uncover the details. Join us as we delve into the aftermath of this gripping saga and see what's happening in the life of the hip-hop star. Diddy's house is raided. In a shocking turn of events, the luxurious homes of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs have been raided by Homeland Security amidst allegations of sex trafficking. This scandal has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and left fans and followers stunned. It all began with whispers and rumors circulating within the music industry. Allegations of sex trafficking and illicit activities had been swirling around the name of Sean Diddy Combs, the renowned music mogul and entrepreneur. As one of the most influential figures in the entertainment world, Diddy's lavish lifestyle and success had always attracted attention, but this time it was for all the wrong reasons. In the weeks leading up to the raids, anonymous sources started coming forward, claiming to have insider knowledge of Diddy's involvement in a dark and sinister underworld. These allegations were too serious to be ignored, prompting law enforcement agencies to take action. On a fateful day in March, Homeland Security, in collaboration with local authorities, executed search warrants on Diddy's opulent residences in both Los Angeles and Miami. The simultaneous raids sent shockwaves through the celebrity community and left fans and followers in disbelief. The details surrounding the raids were shrouded in secrecy, but leaked information suggested that the investigation was centered around allegations of sex trafficking. The authorities believed that Diddy's homes were being used as hubs for illegal activities, exploiting vulnerable individuals for profit. As news of the raids broke, media outlets and tabloids went into a frenzy, eager to uncover the truth behind the allegations. Journalists and paparazzi swarmed the area surrounding Diddy's properties, hoping to catch a glimpse of the unfolding drama. The raids marked a significant turning point in Diddy's life and career. Once celebrated for his musical achievements and business acumen, he now found himself at the center of a scandal that threatened to tarnish his reputation forever. The music industry, which had long idolized him, was left reeling from the shocking revelations. While the investigation was ongoing, the public was left to speculate about the extent of Diddy's involvement and the potential consequences he might face if the allegations were proven true. The media circus surrounding the raids only fueled the curiosity and fascination of the masses. As the investigation into the raids on Diddy's houses unfolded, the allegations against the music mogul began to surface, painting a disturbing picture of his involvement in sex trafficking. According to sources close to the investigation, Diddy was accused of using his influence and resources to exploit vulnerable individuals for his own gain. The allegations suggested that Diddy had created a network of individuals who facilitated the trafficking operation, luring unsuspecting victims into a world of exploitation and abuse. It was a shocking shocking revelation that shook the very foundations of the music industry. For Diddy, the potential implications of these allegations were dire. His carefully crafted public image as a successful entrepreneur and philanthropist was now at risk of being shattered. The scandal threatened not only his career, but also his personal life, as the public demanded answers and justice for the victims. As news of the allegations spread, the backlash against Diddy was swift and severe. Fans and followers expressed their disappointment and disbelief, feeling betrayed by the man they had once admired. Social media platforms were flooded with hashtags calling for justice and accountability as the public demanded that Diddy be held responsible for his alleged actions. The music industry, too, was forced to confront the dark underbelly that had long been whispered about but rarely acknowledged. The scandal exposed the vulnerability of aspiring artists and the potential for exploitation within the industry. It sparked a broader conversation about the need for greater safeguards and accountability to protect those who are most at risk. Diddy's business empire also faced significant repercussions. Endorsement deals and partnerships that had once been lucrative were now in jeopardy as companies distanced themselves from the tarnished brand. The scandal threatened to unravel years of hard work and success, leaving Diddy's empire hanging in the balance. Amidst the chaos, Diddy's legal team went into overdrive, working tirelessly to defend their client and disprove the allegations. They maintained that the raids were a result of false accusations and vowed to fight tooth and nail to clear Diddy's name. As the investigation continues, the public awaits the outcome with bated breath. Would Diddy be able to salvage his reputation and rebuild his empire, or would he be forever marked by the scandal that had rocked the music industry? Sex trafficking charges against Diddy. In the world of glitz and glamour, where fame and fortune often overshadow the truth, a shocking scandal has emerged. Today, we dive deep into the dark underbelly of the music industry as we uncover the ongoing sex trafficking investigation surrounding the influential hip-hop mogul, Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy's properties are in Los Angeles and Miami. In a coordinated operation, federal Homeland Security investigations agents, along with other law enforcement agencies, executed search warrants at these properties, sending shockwaves through the entertainment world. The Los Angeles house, nestled in the opulent Holmby Hills neighborhood near Beverly Hills, became the epicenter of the investigation. As a police line was set up around the property, a swarm of agents donning vests that identified them as Homeland Security Investigations personnel descended upon the premises. Helicopter footage from KBC-TV captured the scene, revealing a group of armed agents in full tactical gear, moving swiftly in and out of the house's backyard near the luxurious pool area. The gravity of the situation was palpable as a command post was established outside the residence, and agents continued to enter and exit throughout the day. Simultaneously, Diddy's Miami property on Star Island became another focal point of the investigation. Federal agents, working in collaboration with local law enforcement, meticulously combed through the premises, searching for any evidence that could shed light on the alleged sex trafficking activities. While the exact nature of the investigation remains shrouded in secrecy, it is important to note that Diddy himself may not be the primary target. The officials involved in the case have remained tight-lipped, refusing to publicly disclose any details. However, the mounting sexual assault lawsuits filed against Diddy in recent months have undoubtedly contributed to the intensity of the investigation. One such lawsuit, filed by a music producer in February, alleges that Diddy coerced him into soliciting prostitutes and pressured him to engage in sexual acts with them. Diddy's attorney, Sean Hawley, vehemently denies these claims, asserting that they are nothing more than baseless lies. Hawley confidently states that they possess overwhelming evidence to refute the producer's allegations. In November of the previous year, Diddy's former protege and girlfriend, the renowned R&B singer Cassie, filed a lawsuit accusing him of years of sexual abuse, including rape. The lawsuit alleges that Diddy forced Cassie to have sex with male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. Shockingly, the suit was settled just one day after being filed, leaving many questioning the true extent of the allegations and the motivations behind the swift resolution. Another woman, who remains anonymous, has come forward, claiming that Diddy raped her 2 decades ago when she was just 17 years old. These allegations, combined with the previous lawsuits, have created a web of disturbing accusations that now form the backdrop of the ongoing investigation. One of the most prominent accusers is Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie, who filed a lawsuit in November alleging years of sexual abuse, including rape. The lawsuit claims that Diddy forced Cassie to engage in sexual acts with male prostitutes while he filmed them. The disturbing details outlined in the lawsuit shocked the public and raised serious concerns about the power dynamics within their relationship. In response to these allegations, Diddy vehemently denied any wrongdoing, issuing a statement in December proclaiming his innocence. He adamantly stated, "I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. However, the weight of the accusations and the mounting evidence against him have cast a dark shadow over his once untarnished reputation. The impact of these allegations on Diddy's career cannot be understated. As one of the most influential hip-hop producers and executives of the past 3 decades, Diddy's empire has been built on his musical prowess and business acumen. Formerly known as Puff Daddy, he blazed a trail in the industry, working with top-tier artists and amassing a loyal fan base. However, the allegations have led to a significant backlash. The music industry, which has not faced a reckoning to the same degree as Hollywood, is now grappling with its own #Me Too moment. Diddy's accusers have shed light on the dark side of the industry, exposing the potential abuse of power and the exploitation of vulnerable individuals. The fallout from these allegations has been swift and impactful. Diddy's former protege and girlfriend Cassie dropped her lawsuit just 1 day after filing it, leading to speculation about the nature of their settlement. While the details remain undisclosed, the resolution of the lawsuit has left many questioning the validity of the claims and the motivations behind the sudden agreement. Despite the settlement, other accusers have come forward, further damaging Diddy's reputation. A woman, who chose to remain anonymous, alleged that Diddy raped her when she was just 17 years old, adding another layer of complexity to the ongoing investigation. The impact on Diddy's career has been significant. The music industry, once a safe haven for powerful figures, is now facing a reckoning. The allegations against Diddy have prompted soul-searching and a demand for accountability. The public, once enamored by his success, is now questioning the true character of the man behind the empire. The consequences of these allegations extend beyond Diddy's personal life. His brand, Sean John, which once epitomized style and success, now faces scrutiny. The reality show, Making the Band, which showcased Diddy's talent for discovering new artists, is now tainted by the allegations against him. The fallout from these accusations has the potential to reshape the music industry and redefine the boundaries of acceptable behavior. As the investigation into the sex trafficking charges against Diddy continues, the world watches with bated breath. Will justice be served? Will the allegations be proven true? Only time will tell. In the meantime, the music industry grapples with its own demons, forced to confront the dark side of fame and power. History of legal troubles. In the early years of his career, Sean Diddy Combs quickly rose to fame as a music mogul, but with success came a series of legal troubles that would haunt him throughout his life. Let's take a journey back in time to explore the earliest incidents that marked the beginning of Diddy's tumultuous relationship with the law. It was the year 1992 when Diddy found himself at the center of a shocking incident that would forever be etched in his history. A celebrity basketball game in Harlem, New York turned into a nightmare as a stampede erupted, resulting in the tragic deaths of 9 people and leaving countless others injured. Diddy, who was one of the promoters of the event, faced scrutiny and finger-pointing from all directions. Attorneys for Puff Daddy, as he was known at the time, pointed fingers at the police, claiming they were to blame for the chaos that ensued. As the 90s progressed, Diddy's legal troubles continued to mount. In December 1999, he found himself in handcuffs alongside his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez. The couple was arrested in New York City for criminal possession of a weapon and possession of stolen property. The arrests came in the aftermath of a shooting that took place at a club in the area. While Lopez was detained for 14 hours, Diddy faced charges of illegal possession of a weapon. The incident sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and tarnished Diddy's image. Despite the legal setbacks, Diddy's career continued to flourish, but trouble seemed to follow him wherever he went. In 2015, he faced another highly publicized incident that landed him in hot water. Reports emerged that Diddy had been arrested for allegedly assaulting a UCLA football coach. It was alleged that he swung a kettlebell at an assistant coach, leading to charges of assault with a deadly weapon. However, as the case unfolded, the charges against Diddy were eventually dropped. Nevertheless, the incident further fueled the media's fascination with his legal troubles. The early 2000s brought a new wave of controversies for Diddy. In 2001, he faced a lawsuit from a concertgoer who claimed to have been injured during a performance. The lawsuit alleged negligence on Diddy's part, accusing him of failing to provide adequate security measures. While the outcome of the lawsuit remains undisclosed, it added to the growing list of legal battles Diddy had to navigate. As we can see, the early years of Diddy's career were marred by a series of legal troubles that seemed to follow him like a shadow. From the tragic Stampede incident in 1992 to the high-profile arrests in 1999 and the assault allegations in 2015, Diddy's journey through the legal system was just beginning. Little did he know that these early incidents were just a glimpse of the legal storm that awaited him in the years to come. As we continue our exploration of Sean Diddy Combs' history of legal troubles, we now delve into the later years of his career, where controversy controversies and legal battles seem to escalate. Brace yourself for more shocking revelations and captivating stories as we uncover the tumultuous path that Diddy walked. In 2017, Diddy faced yet another lawsuit that sent shockwaves through the industry. His former chef, Cindy Rueda, filed a lawsuit accusing him of sexual harassment, retaliation, defamation, failure to pay overtime, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, among other claims. Rueda alleged that she endured a hostile work environment and suffered emotional trauma during her time working for Diddy. The lawsuit garnered significant media attention, shining a spotlight on the darker side of Diddy's empire. The following year, in 2020, Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit that rocked the entertainment world. Cassie, legally known as Cassandra Ventura, alleged that she endured over a decade of Diddy's violent behavior and disturbed demands. She accused him of rape, claiming that he violated her in her own home. Shockingly, Cassie also alleged that Diddy forced her to engage in sexual acts with male prostitutes while he watched and filmed. The graphic details of the lawsuit sent shockwaves through the industry and left many questioning the true nature of Diddy's character. However, just one day after the shocking allegations were made public, Diddy and Cassie surprisingly settled the lawsuit. The sudden resolution left many speculating about the motivations behind the settlement and the potential impact it would have on Diddy's reputation. The details of the settlement remain undisclosed, leaving the public with unanswered questions. In 2024, Diddy faced yet another sexual assault allegation. This time from music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. Jones filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of sexually assaulting him and forcing him to perform sex acts with prostitutes. The allegations detailed unsolicited groping and sexual touching, as well as inappropriate work conditions. Diddy's lawyer vehemently denied the claims, dismissing them as pure fiction. The lawsuit added another layer of complexity to Diddy's already troubled legal history. Throughout his career, Diddy has faced a series of legal battles that have tested his reputation and public image. From allegations of sexual harassment and assault to lawsuits for defamation and emotional distress, the controversies surrounding Diddy have left a lasting impact on his legacy. While some cases have been settled or dismissed, the cloud of legal troubles continues to follow him. As we reflect on the later years of Diddy's career, it becomes clear that his history of legal troubles is a complex tapestry of allegations, lawsuits, and settlements. The shocking revelations and graphic details have captivated the public's attention, shedding light on the darker side of fame and fortune. Despite the controversies and legal battles, Diddy has managed to maintain his status as a prominent figure in the music industry. However, the shadow of these legal troubles continues to loom over his legacy, leaving a lasting impact on his reputation. All sexual allegations against Diddy. In the early years of his music industry career, Sean Diddy Combs was already making headlines, but not for his musical achievements. Instead, he found himself at the center of disturbing allegations of sexual misconduct. These allegations date back to the early 1990s and paint a troubling picture of Diddy's behavior. In 1990, Diddy was just starting his journey in the music industry as an intern at Uptown Records, working under executive Andre Harrell. Little did anyone know that behind the scenes, a dark side was beginning to emerge. According to a November 2023 lawsuit, Diddy, along with R&B singer Aaron Hall, allegedly sexually assaulted an unnamed victim and her friend after a music industry event. The incident took place in 1990 or 1991, and it was a horrifying ordeal for the victims. But the trauma didn't end there. Several days later, when the victims confronted Diddy and Hall about the assault, they were brutally beaten. These allegations are deeply disturbing and shed light on a pattern of violent behavior that would continue to haunt Diddy throughout his career. It is important to note that these allegations are still being investigated and have not been proven in a court of law. However, they provide a chilling glimpse into the early years of Diddy's rise to fame. Another shocking incident occurred in 1991, according to the same November 2023 lawsuit. Diddy is accused of drugging, sexually assaulting, and videotaping a 19-year-old woman named Joy Dickerson. The lawsuit alleges that Diddy took Dickerson on a date, during which he drugged her and subjected her to sexual assault. To make matters worse, he filmed the assault without her consent, violating her privacy and dignity. These allegations paint a disturbing picture of Diddy's behavior towards women during this time. It is important to remember that these are serious accusations and should be treated as such. The victims deserve to have their voices heard and their stories taken seriously. As Diddy's career continued to flourish, he founded his own label, Bad Boy Records, in 1993. The label quickly gained popularity and notoriety, launching the careers of artists like Craig Mack, The Notorious Big, Mace, The Lox, and Faith Evans. However, behind the scenes, Diddy's alleged misconduct continued to cast a dark shadow. In 1993, Diddy was fired from his duties at Uptown Records, leading him to start his own label. However, this transition did not mark a turning point in his behavior. According to a December 2023 lawsuit, Diddy, along with his former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre and another unidentified man, allegedly gang-raped a 17-year-old victim at a Manhattan recording studio. The details of this alleged incident are horrifying and demonstrate a complete disregard for the well-being and consent of others. It is crucial to remember that these are serious allegations that require a thorough investigation and legal process to determine the truth. As Diddy's career soared to new heights, so did the allegations of sexual misconduct against him. In this section, we will explore the later allegations, including the disturbing incidents involving singer Cassie Ventura and the recent lawsuits that have rocked the entertainment industry. In 2005, Diddy met Cassie Ventura, a young and aspiring singer. At the time, Ventura was just 19 years old, while Diddy was 37. What started as a professional relationship soon turned into a nightmare for Ventura. According to a November 2023 lawsuit, Ventura alleges that Diddy subjected her to years of physical, psychological, and emotional abuse. She claims that he forced her to purchase and take illegal drugs, such as cocaine, ketamine, and ecstasy. Shockingly, Diddy allegedly filmed Ventura as he forced her to participate in sexual acts with male sex workers in multiple cities, all for his own voyeuristic pleasure. This practice, which he called freak-offs, violated Ventura's consent and privacy. The lawsuit further alleges that Diddy physically assaulted Ventura on numerous occasions, often in retaliation for talking to other men. These acts of violence were reportedly witnessed by others, adding to the gravity of the situation. Ventura's claims paint a disturbing picture of a relationship characterized by control, manipulation, and abuse. In 2018, after multiple attempts to sever ties with Diddy, Ventura met with him to discuss concluding her contract with his label, Bad Boy Records, and ending their relationship for good. However, the meeting took a horrifying turn. Ventura alleges that Diddy forced himself into her apartment and forcibly raped her. This alleged act of sexual violence marked the breaking point for Ventura, who took steps to separate herself from her longtime abuser. The allegations made by Ventura are deeply troubling and require a thorough investigation to determine the truth. It is important to remember that these allegations have not been proven in a court of law, and Diddy vehemently denies them. However, they shed light on the dark underbelly of the music industry and the abuse of power that can occur behind closed doors. Off the Grid accuses the music mogul of repeatedly groping him. Jones also claims that during the album's production, Diddy forced him to solicit sex workers, take illegal drugs, and engage in other disturbing activities. The lawsuit names Diddy's son, Justin Dior Combs, and high-ranking members of Motown Records and Universal Music Group as co-defendants. These recent lawsuits highlight the systemic nature of the allegations against Diddy and the potential involvement of others in enabling or perpetuating the alleged misconduct. The legal process will determine the veracity of these claims, but they add to the growing chorus of voices speaking out against Diddy. The sexual allegations against Sean Diddy Combs have revealed a disturbing pattern of behavior that spans decades. From the early allegations in the 1990s to the recent lawsuits, a chilling picture emerges of a man who allegedly abused his power and engaged in acts of sexual misconduct. The stories of survivors like Cassie Ventura and Rodney Lil Rod Jones shed light on the dark underbelly of the music industry and the need for accountability. While these allegations have not been proven in a court of law, they demand a thorough investigation and a commitment to justice. It is essential to listen to the voices of survivors, support them, and create a culture that does not tolerate abuse. What's next for Diddy? In recent weeks, the entertainment industry has been rocked by a series of shocking allegations against high-profile individuals, and Sean Combs, also known as Puff Daddy or Diddy, is one of the names that has emerged. The allegations against Diddy have undoubtedly had a significant impact on his career and public image. As a prominent figure in the music industry, Diddy has built a reputation as a successful entrepreneur, producer, and artist. However, these allegations have cast a shadow over his achievements and raised doubts about his character. In the world of cancel culture, where public opinion can make or break a career, Diddy finds himself at a critical juncture. The allegations of abuse and control have sparked outrage among fans and the general public. Social media platforms have become a battleground, with heated debates and discussions surrounding the allegations and their implications. While Diddy maintains his innocence, the court of public opinion can be unforgiving. The public's perception of him has been tarnished, and it remains to be seen whether he can recover from the damage inflicted by these allegations. The entertainment industry is known for its fickleness fickleness, and the fallout from such scandals can be devastating for a celebrity's career. However, it is important to remember that allegations are not proof of guilt. Diddy has not been convicted of any crime, and until concrete evidence is presented, it is essential to approach these allegations with caution. The legal process will determine the truth, and it is crucial to allow due process to take its course. Despite the cloud of controversy surrounding Diddy, there have been recent developments that may provide a glimmer of hope for his future. Rumors have circulated that Diddy recently won a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against a liquor company for racism. While the details of this settlement remain undisclosed, it could potentially help Diddy avoid legal troubles and allow him to focus on rebuilding his career. Additionally, Diddy's swift settlement with Cassie raises questions about the validity of the allegations. Some speculate that the settlement was a strategic move to avoid further damage to his reputation. However, others argue that settling does not necessarily imply guilt and may simply be a pragmatic decision to put the matter behind him. Moving forward, Diddy faces a challenging road ahead. The court of public opinion can be relentless, and the entertainment industry may be hesitant to associate with someone facing such serious allegations. However, history has shown that celebrities can make comebacks even in the face of scandal. Diddy's success as an entrepreneur and his influence in the music industry cannot be overlooked. He has a loyal fan base and a track record of resilience. If he can weather the storm and prove his innocence, there may still be opportunities for him to rebuild his career. It is important to remember that these allegations do not define Diddy as a person or an artist. They are serious accusations that must be taken seriously, but they should not overshadow his entire body of work and contributions to the industry. It is crucial to separate the art from the artist and allow the legal process to unfold. The allegations against Diddy have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, tarnishing his reputation and raising questions about his character. While he vehemently denies the allegations, the impact on his career and public image cannot be ignored. The court of public opinion has been divided, with heated debates and discussions surrounding the allegations. As Diddy navigates the challenges ahead, his future in the industry remains uncertain. Only time will tell whether he can overcome this scandal and rebuild his career. This was all from our side. Thank you for staying with us. If you enjoy our content, our newest videos are just a click away.